And we are live on JCTV, where tonight the stars of the Total Nonstop Racing League, presented by Schue's Lawn Service, take center stage, heading to the short track. Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway. Looking forward to a first-time event here at the short track. It's going to be a lot of fun, I do say so myself. Short track racing here on Monday night. Dawson down to the booth, and we're going to have a special broadcast style here tonight. We're going to do a driver's broadcast, so we'll have some guys in here that are racing on track at the time, also spending some time in the booth with us. Joining us, at least very first and foremost, is, of course, JCTV's own Josh Coppernell, currently out on the racetrack there. You see that 42 on pit lane. Josh, how you feeling about your chances tonight?
You know, Dawson, I have no idea. Looks like I'm a little bit off pace, but this track, from what I've gathered, it's challenging. I'm blown away by the amount of banking this track has, for a short track as it is. But no, I think it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to being out there on track and also being in the booth.
Yeah, we'll see how that happens. Another driver that is going to be a part of this is currently fastest in this practice session right now, that being the 41 of Michael Kruger. Fastest on track so far for this 41 team.
Yeah, and I think it's cool seeing Mikey up there. He's fast everywhere we go in this league. Catching some very tough breaks lately, but you know, we'll see if he's able to get it done here. He was really quick at the Milwaukee Mile before having issues there. Really quick last week at Mosport before having issues there. Quick again tonight. So I'm excited to see what Mikey can do.
Yeah, he's had the speed to win the last 3 races at Milwaukee. Started on the pole, led a lot of the race, a pit stop under caution. He overdrives his stall, brings it home second. Win at Texas in a dominant performance there, 55 laps led of the 150 ran. And then last week at Mosport, you know, it was contention between himself, Traver Burns, and Philip Scott. And once Philip Scott overtook them with the pit stop strategy, Mikey was in second. He was trying his best to see if he could run down Philip Scott. Overdrove it, spun it out, and took himself out of contention. Ended up last week, he finished all the way in 11th place, which with his 16 drivers, I mean, that's pretty much the back of the field after wrecking out. So he's looking to rebound here tonight and see if he can't go back the same way he was at Texas, have a dominant performance, and go out there and win the race.
Yeah, and one other thing I want to point out is, you know, you talk about how you know, it's the back end of the field, finishing 11th out of 16. Well, that's not a bad points day. Well, let me tell you, I'm still not sure what this point system is. It's a wacky one. It's not what NASCAR uses, where one position is a point. So it's not like he only lost 16 points compared to Philip Scott, who won that race. You know, they've got like Mario Kart style points. So, you know, it's a ton of points that he lost. He really needs a good race for him.
I'm so glad you mentioned Mario Kart points, because that was the exact point I was going to make. I'm almost positive that this is Mario Kart points. So to break it down really quickly, as we're sitting here in practice with 8 minutes and 45 seconds to go, still plenty of time in this practice session, the winner of the race receives 15 points outright. Second place gets 10, then it's 9 all the way down to 2 for 10th place. Anybody who finishes 11th on back only scores 1 point. So it's pretty much Mario Kart style. As you mentioned it to an extent. And of course, there are bonus points: leading a lap, leading the most laps, and winning the pole. Those are your 3 chances you have at garnering some bonus points to earn throughout the race. So a max amount you can get in a race would be, I'd say, 18 points is the max you're going to get, because you can get the 3 bonus points from winning the pole, leading the most laps. That's 3 bonus points you can get on top of the 15. So there's a lot of, a lot of things that go, kind of in how the point standings are going to shake up and everything. And as it stands right now, it's a 1 point points lead for Bronson Stafford over this 41 of Michael Kruger.
Stafford has been really good this season too. I do not see him here tonight, at least as of yet, but Stafford, he's had a pretty good season. Dawson, I don't want to know where I'm at in points.
Well, I was going to say, speaking of Bronson Stafford, I mean, the races he has run so far this season, he's made 7 starts thus far, 2 starts at Daytona, as well as a start at Texas, Michigan, Dover, and then the Atlanta doubleheader. He has 1 finish of 22nd at Dover. Every other finish after that's been a top 5, but he has 4 runner-up finishes yet to win a race this season, but he still finds himself leading the points.
I didn't realize those stats. That is still impressive. He's had a really good season so far.
Somebody else had a really good season. How about this 99 of Philip Scott? 2 wins thus far, back-to-back weeks, mind you, coming, of course, at the Milwaukee Mile, and then followed up 2 weeks later, at Canadian Tire. He is really, really cementing himself now as a championship contender, currently sitting 4 points back of Michael Kruger of the overall lead, I should say. Bronson Stafford, he is in a very good spot here as the season continues to roll on. With 2 wins so far in the bank, this 99 truck is looking like he's going to be a threat.
Yeah, he's been really impressive as of late to me too. I think I was racing him one race, and I accidentally got into him. He just didn't seem like he had the pace, and then all of a sudden he had a ton of pace, and he's been really incredible as well. I've been very impressed with his speed. He is for sure one to watch out for if you are Stafford or Kruger.
Currently 6th fastest out on the racetrack right now. Looking through the field, James Lorello has taken the top spot on the speed charts in the 13 truck. You see Josh sliding there on turn 4 pass by Philip Scott. Kruger 2nd fastest. Chris Neenow right now in 3rd. We talked to him last week. He had that 3rd place finish at Circuit of the Americas. Real cool to get a chance to talk to him. He is very, very much, he's a newer guy to the league. We looked through all the starts everybody's made. That was his 10th start overall, period, in the Monday Night Racing Series here for Total Nonstop Racing. But, being able to do your 10th start, he's been constantly improving, bumping it up better and better each time. And a 3rd place run last week, looking to follow it up with a good run tonight.
Giving some information in the session about the race, and one thing that was just brought up by Mike Tellier, one of the main admins, is don't stand for barriers here. And yeah, I guess that is true. Not something I realized. So I don't know. Wondering if you hit these walls, they're gonna do more damage to the car than say a place that has safer barriers.
There's really only one way to find out on that one, Josh.
I really don't want to.
I think you do.
Maybe in practice.
Talking about Mike Tellier, too. Looking just through some of the stats in this league, short track racing Mike Tellier is the all-time leader in wins on short tracks with 5 wins in his career, coming at tracks that are under a mile long. Jason Gracia is right behind him at 4 wins. Those wins came at North Wilkesboro in the ARCA car. He's got 2 wins at Bristol, 1 in the truck and 1 in the off-road pro truck. He's got a win at Phoenix in the Xfinity car, and then of course another Gen 4 win at the Lucas Oil Raceway Park, and a lot of top 5 finishes for Mike Tellier at these short tracks. You know, there's just thing, it's just kind of weird. Some drivers are able to adapt to different styles of tracks. You know, you see it a lot in real racing, how some drivers are just better at different types of tracks. Josh, what is that kind of, you know, like, do you think, to have somebody like that who's really good at, you know, these shorter tracks?
I'll tell you, drivers like Mike Tellier, Jason Gracias, too, that you mentioned, when you go to a short track, you know they're going to be ones to watch out for because they're just so good. They know the rhythm very well. You know, not lock up the tires, just staying patient as well as saving the tires because that's also important. So, you know, being a short track ace, it is a big talent as opposed to being good at, you know, mile and a half. So I think it makes a ton of difference. And actually, I never would have guessed those kind of stats out of Mike Tellier without you saying that.
You see the top of speed charts. Michael Kruger took back the top spot from James Lorello. A sub 18-second lap for the 41 of Michael Kruger. I think he's just working right now on getting pole speed down, see if he can't get a pole run going.
Hey, one thing I am learning, it's going to be really tough getting back on throttle, which is something normal with short tracks. But I'm having a little bit harder time figuring out here tonight than at other places. I like to think of myself as a decent short track driver, but I'm struggling a bit. So I don't know. I think this race is still going to be fun regardless.
As we look forward to tonight, real quick, before we get this race qualifying underway, we're going to talk to the driver of the 41, Michael Kruger. Mikey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, well, you'll be with us in the booth here throughout the night sporadically, but right now we're going to pull you in and talk to you before qualifying. How you feeling about that 41 truck?
Just all right. I just think I gotta just make sure I hit my marks really and don't make mistakes. I didn't pick up this track until like this afternoon, so these are like some of my first 100-something laps here that I've been turned tonight. So it'll be something to learn here for Kern County, and we'll just see how it goes. Just execute and just try to learn as the race goes on more about this track and how to run it better.
Well, so far looking pretty good. Top of the speed charts. How does that make you feel, though, knowing that you're still learning the track, but you've also obviously got the pace?
Feels great. Well, I just got knocked off, but yeah, really just shows I got a lot to learn. If still getting beat by some guys on pace, just gotta kind of squeeze out that extra pace here to be as fast as I can be here.
Well, we'll keep tabs with you throughout the night, but I'm going to let you go at least for qualifying so you're not distracted by me yapping about somebody else.
All right.
All right, that is Michael Kruger. We will, of course, we mentioned we'll pull him back in here whenever we are not watching qualifying. Because the last thing I want to do is have us in his ear yelling about somebody during their qualifying run. So let's go to the racetrack. It is Shamar Dumas, who is out on the racetrack in the number 28 truck. One of the first trucks out there to qualify here tonight. He was rounding through to making his way down into turn 3. You see, Josh had mentioned it in practice, the banking is just so steep. And, you know, it's so different compared to what you see in a normal short track. As you see, Dumas going to put down an 18.020. It's currently fastest on track right now. Looks like Michael Kruger is out on track, as is James Lorello, Vinny Valvano, and a bunch of other drivers currently out on the racetrack. Dumas currently holding the top spot as things stand right now. He'll come off the start-finish line right there. He might have got the wall. It's not going to allow him to set a lap time. And it looks like he is going to stay on the top of the speed charts, though, with that 18.020 as things stand right now. Looking back, here goes Josh Coppernell, our JCTV colleague, in the booth with us. Now he goes out to qualify. Let's see what he can do in this 42 truck, that copper tone Chevy Silverado. So go way wide there into turns 1 and 2. Same through 3 and 4. You see the banking of this racetrack. So he makes his way to the start-finish line. He'll hit the first lap at 18.912. Currently the slowest on track right now, but second lap, he's going for that bottom. Going to try to get all the way down to that white line. Heading into 3 and 4 in this number 42 truck. On the exit of 4, the speed picks up an 18.470. 4.53 is what it's going to be, but still slowest on the racetrack. Josh, buddy.
And I tried.
Michael Kruger isn't rolling, but Philip Scott is on his first time lap in the 99 truck. It's World Ninja League Ford F-150. We saw him win at the road course last week, but he's going to hit the wall on his first lap there. It was a 17.999 of blazing fast lap, but it's not going to count because he smacked the wall on the exit of turn 4.
And that very well is going to hurt.
And he's going to spin!
Lap.
He's going to spin on lap 2! Philip Scott is not going to get a lap time in. He's going to have to start at the back of the field for this race tonight. We'll go back. We're watching Michael Kruger is on the grid, but he has not rolled off of pit lane. But Philip Scott, 2-time winner of the season, including the win last week at the road course up north. He is going to have to start out of the back of this field tonight. And there goes Michael Kruger in the 41. He is rolling off of pit lane now. Can he make a run at the pole? Still held by the 28 of Jamar Dumas.
That counts 75 degrees.
Yeah, not really the hottest compared to what you normally see. We'll watch this 41 truck and see what he does. He'll kind of ride that second lane through 1 and 2, not going up to the top like we saw Josh doing. As he hits the start-finish line, it's an 18.658, slowest lap time there. So we'll see what the money lap can do for Michael Kruger. Philip Scott ran a 17.999, but the lap didn't count. That would have been the pole by a good margin. But Michael Kruger, he'll hit the stripe this time. It's an 18.036. It's going to be second fastest. Not enough for Michael Kruger to take over the top spot. That means that our pole sitter for tonight's race is going to be the 28 of Jamar Dumas. This is Jamar Dumas' 5th career pole here in the Total Nonstop Racing League. As we get ready to grid up, we'll take a look at the starting lineup here for your Forever 200. It is Jamar Dumas and Michael Kruger making up row number 1 on the front row. Row number 2 seeing Mike Tellier and Chris Nenau. Mike Tellier, of course, 5 wins on short tracks here in Total Nonstop Racing League action. Bob Giaquino and James Lorello make up row number 3. Lorello, 2-time winner this season, both wins coming at Daytona in the doubleheader. Jonathan Gaston and Vinny Valvano making out row number 4. Running at your top 10, it's JCTV's own, our booth colleague for the night, Josh Copperdoll, and Philip Scott, unable to post a lap time, will have to start 10th. Back at 11th in row 6 is Paul Bilson with Garrett Gleason to his outside. Running out your field is Johnny Williams in the 00. We've got 13 trucks out on the racetrack. This is the first ever race for the Total Nonstop Racing League at Kern County. It is 200 laps. It is partly cloudy skies. Josh, you mentioned it, 74 degrees track temperature. The wind gust, 18 miles an hour. There's no rain. It's going to be dry. But it's going to be interesting just to watch this race play out here. The first time making its way out to the short track.
And I'll tell you, I'm really glad Philip Scott's starting to the outside of me and not right behind me or something, because I think he's going to be flying.
Yeah, that 99 going to have to start from the 10th spot, see what he can do to make his way forward. There's a lot of opportunities for a lot of these guys here to take some good finishing results and try to boost them up in the points or maybe take advantage of others' misfortune if we see it play out here tonight. 200 laps of the half-mile racetrack. It's going to be a fun show here tonight. Of course, Kern County renamed Kevin Harvick's Kern County Raceway. Kevin Harvick purchased the track. Of course, it's in Bakersfield, California, Kevin Harvick's hometown. Pace car is off. That leaves the field in the hands of Jamar Dumas with Michael Kruger to his outside. They'll make their way towards the start-finish line, and the green flag is going to fly. We're racing in Kern County.
Kruger went wide.
Mike Tellier second on the back bumper, makes contact with Jamar Dumas, who's going to spin. He hits the outside wall, but somehow he stayed green and kept it pointed straight for the most part.
Tellier's around.
And that's going to bring out the caution. Mike Tellier already around.
I need a new pair of underwear, Dawson.
That was a start of a race if I've ever seen one. We'll go back and look and see what happens to the 28 of Jamar Dumas at first. Contact with Mike Tellier right here, entering turn 3. Tellier gets in the back of the 28, sends him up the track. He tries to save it and barely kisses the wall. But then we go to the 97 of Mike Tellier up ahead. You see him slow up there in the outside lane, way up top. He just spins it all by himself. Just got in too hot in the corner and looped it. You'll see up the top of your screen right there. No help. Just slides. Spins it around. Pointed the wrong direction. And the caution will fly for the first time here tonight. And Mikey, you took back the race lead. You took the race lead after all that. So, going wide in 1 and 2. What was the deal with that, bud?
Lack of talent. I just sent it in there and thought it would stick, and clearly I just overdrove it, and honestly I didn't deserve to get the lead at all, but I just got lucky there. And to avoid that incident there, I mean, I was just going to be like, well, I guess I'm just going to race Mike for second here, but I just kind of backed off, and I saw Jamar spinning, and I think Mike just got in there, and I tried to thread the needle there and just somehow got the lead back. I got a 4X there. I don't know if I touched Mike there or not, but it was pretty close.
Well, currently leading the field is Michael Kruger. Bob Giaquinto, how about him running in second so far to start this race off? 18th in points coming into tonight's race. Best finish of 4th coming back at Dover earlier this season. 8th place finishes, a pair of them, back-to-back weeks at Texas and then Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. He's looking for a good race here tonight. We mentioned James Lorello, 2-time winner this season, currently scored 5th in points after last week's race. 6th place run at Canadian Tire after the back-to-back wins at Daytona and a 12th place finish at Milwaukee. We'll see what this 13 truck can do. Jonathan Gaston right there in 4th. He is 17th in points. Coming into tonight. 6 top 10s, yet to finish top 5 though for the 72. I mentioned Chris Nino, last week's 3rd place finisher, looking to continue the momentum of a good run. Pace truck is off. Michael Kruger's going to lead the field towards the restart zone and back to the green flag. And just as quickly as they restart side by side now for second as Kruger jumps away, Giaquinto to the outside of James Lorello trying to hold on to spot 2. Back in the background here, Philip Scott currently in 10th. He is going to have to try to find his way forward in this 99 truck. Mentioned coming into tonight's race, 3rd in points.
Oh, good Lord, Paul Bilson. To the inside of Vinny Valvino.
Oh, spinning in the background, Johnny Williams around to the front straight, but the caution is going to fly for the 00 spinning out here on lap number 10. He quickly tows it, and it looks like he is going to call it a race already. Sucks to see that happen, but the 00 goes for a slide on the front straightaway and puts us under caution for the 2nd time here in just as many laps. 10 laps in, and we are under our 2nd yellow flag. Just looks like he just got a little loose and just around it went. So he will find pit lane already in the 00.
You know, we mentioned earlier, track temp is pretty low, 75 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm fighting it out here. I don't know. I'm sure Mikey might be as well. I could not imagine this place 100 degrees or 95 or something. You know, it's pretty wild right now. Maybe it is just a lack of experience, but just this is really hard. Getting through the corners, getting back on the gas.
Yeah, it's 74 right now, track temp. I mean, yeah, like Josh said, I can't imagine how greasy this place would be if it was like 100, 120, or in the 90s. I mean, it already feels a little difficult because you can't really quite gas it up fully all the way off on exits because you'll loop it or get loose. So you just got to be patient with throttle control here, pretty much, even if it's this chilly.
And also with 18, 19 mile per hour winds, what I've been seeing, of course, you mentioned it earlier, Dawson, as well. You know, that's not helping us either out here. Currently to the north, and I believe we're getting a headwind on the back straightaway. Or no, I'm sorry, a tailwind on the back straightaway, a headwind on the front. Maybe, no, we're getting a tailwind on the front, headwind on the back. Final answer. So, you know, these corners, that's not helping the slickness of the corners either.
No, it's definitely not, and we'll see how it keeps being a factor here tonight. Coming up on lap number 15 of 200 here at Kern County. All our drivers still racing here tonight. 13 drivers on the grid, 13 drivers on the racetrack. Michael Kruger, Bob Giaquinto, still your front row for this restart. Coming to the Geico restart zone, it's Michael Kruger leading the field back to green. Rello gets a great jump that time on the back bumper of the 41. Giaquinto's going to go way wide here through turn 2. And that's going to open the door. And finally, Lorello is going to clear for second. So he'll take over the second place spot from Bob Giaquinto. Back in the back, Josh Coppernoll battling with Vinny Valvano to his inside. Paul Bilson as well. Tried to make it 3 wide there almost for a second. Thought better of it. Instead, going to fall back in line behind the 64 of Valvano as Coppernoll continues to roll the top lane. Jamar Dumas right behind him, our pole sitter for tonight's race. As is Philip Scott, started 10th, still 10th, hasn't been able to move forward in this 99 truck yet. Had a lot of time to move forward because of those back-to-back cautions. You see Coppernoll get passed by Dumas, and Coppernoll slaps the outside wall. Got to be careful about that, Josh. There's no safer barrier up there to hit.
You saw nothing.
Nothing was seen. Michael Kruger continues to lead the field with James Arello in chase. Giaquinto third. Jonathan Gaston right now running in the fourth position, has yet to record a top 5 this season. Looking to see if he can change that one up. I believe he is the only driver so far this season to have made every start, ran every race, but has yet to record a top 5 finish. 6 top 10s, though, it's nothing to sneeze at, but Gaston's just not been able to get up there in that top half of the top 10 and finish up there, but looking like he's trying to make that happen tonight. 4th place run for the 72 truck. So in the background looks like Jamar Dumas going around Paul Bilson in the 28 truck way back in the background behind Michael Kruger and company. That's a pass for 7th for the 28 as he continues to try to march his way forward. I noticed too, looking at the field, looks like Johnny Williams is back on pit lane, but Philip Scott mentioned he's still in 10th right now, looking like he's trying to make a move on Paul Bilson here for the 9th spot. To the inside he goes. He pit under that last caution. He came down pit lane. Looks like he just took fuel only. Might have just been topping off on fuel to see if he can make a longer run once things stay green. So that 99 truck maybe going to try something a little different here as this race goes on. But he's to the inside of Paul Bilson in the battle for what is now the 8th position.
Oh, slider and almost a crossover.
Bilson tried to, got into the back bumper just a little bit, but hit the outside wall as well. Couldn't maintain the momentum to catch back up to the 99 to try to make the move on the crossover. So move Philip Scott up another spot into the 8th position right now. Michael Kruger continuing to lead the way here. My. Josh oh-mying and oh-meing.
Yeah.
Seeing what's happening ahead of him. James Arello had a moment there off of the exit at turn 2 as well.
Collier is struggling right now. He is sliding in the corners, out of the corners.
Rears are starting to wear out. That's why.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 27 laps. Maybe about 10 of those were caution laps, but the rest of those have been green flag, about 15 laps. So when you're going to feel that tire falling off as well. Tellier went for a slide earlier in this race too, so control is probably not really the best thing going for him right now in this 97 truck. But someone I think that's going to benefit is the 99 of Philip Scott. Really good at saving his stuff. We saw it at Milwaukee. We saw it at Canadian Tire. You know, it was still a case of he had to save his stuff, and currently I think that 99 is going to be one to watch in the later stages of this race. Jamar Dumas as well making headway as forward. Coming up now on the 64 of Vinny Valvano for 6th. Another driver closing the gap. Bob Giaquinto rolling back up on James Arello's back bumper. The battle for 2nd.
I just want to know what it's like from Mike Tellier's perspective right now. Like, just not even, just him himself. Like, not even just looking at what he's doing in sim, but how he's feeling driving it. What his force feedback is like right now. Because I have to imagine, my arms are worn out as it is. I'm not sliding like he is. I just got around him and thought he was going to try for a crossover.
Hey, he thought about it too, I think. And he backed off at their last second. Didn't try to stick the nose in there at the inside of the 42. So move Josh up into the 10th spot. That's 2 points if you can finish there, Josh.
Yeah, I don't... I don't think points racing is really something I'm doing anymore. We've already missed a few races, and some of the races I've done finished in the back. And probably going to be in the booth full time. I know I keep saying that, but I mean, the plan until about 10 minutes till we broadcast was for me to strictly be in the broadcast booth tonight, but...
Well, this has all been going on. Pass for 6th occurred. Jamar Dumas got by. Vinny Valvano running some of the faster laps on track at the 28, but also to building. Mikey, you're going to have some company here. James Lorello is now hounding your back bumper.
Oh, but tell you're around on the front stretch, hard into the inside wall. Caution. And Josh Carpenter going to slide. He saves it.
I think you're one of the only people that has ever called your own accident happening, and that is an immaculate call there. But Mike Tellier is the one that went for the spin. We'll take a look back at your JCTV replay to show you what happened to Mike Tellier and Josh Copperdall both here at this incident. So we take you back.
Just lost talent.
This is Mike Tellier's incident first and foremost. See him slide right there and then bang into that inside wall. A good lick in the inside wall. And then we go back, see what happens to Josh Copperdall. Now the caution is already out right about here. Caution flag is flying. Yellow is on the racetrack and Josh is slides it and saves it.
Not one of my prouder moments.
Save's a save, so. Top two staying out. Jonathan Gaston, Philip Scott electing not to pit that time by. Everybody else came down pit lane. Michael Kruger with a flawless stop. 14.3 in the stall. Gets him out first ahead of James Lorello. Bob Giaquinto out in third. Then it was Chris Nenau, Jamar Dumas, Vinny Valvano, Garrett Gleason, Josh Copperdall as it came off of pit lane. Looks like Paul Bilson is on pit lane now. But Jonathan Gaston and Philip Scott staying out. Interesting call for the 72 and the 99.
They're trying to save an extra step. They're trying to bank on getting like a 20-lap run from basically everyone in the field, and they get to take the tires while everyone stays out, and they just drive through all of us here. That's what they're banking on. That's probably why they stayed out.
Not only are they staying out on older tires, they're going to be starting side by side. His truck's off. Gaston leads the field to green. Oh, Kruger makes it 3 wide. Around goes Gaston. Cautions out. Bilson gets turned into the outside wall.
Oh, that wasn't my smartest move. He missed the bottom, and I thought I had a hole there, and I hugged the white line, and I guess I hooked him.
Might have to call this race the JCTV Replay 200. At the rate that this is all going, we'll take a look back at your replay here. Entering into turn 1, right here, you'll see Michael Kruger stick the nose in. He misses the bottom. Kruger sets it 3 wide, and around goes the 72. In contact with Paul Bilson right there, who slides it into the outside wall. But all of them were able to roll away from it.
I'm sure Getson's probably looking at this later and probably isn't going to like this for what I did. I mean, I just thought I saw a chance there on the restart. I mean, he washed the bottom. I thought there was a hole, and I took it. And I'm guessing I came up. I mean, I thought it was all the way on the white line, or there just wasn't enough room to send it, and I just spun them out. And yeah, that sucks. That definitely is a pretty crap way to say it. And just like take the lead, especially. I know it's just fast and clean, but no, that was stupid. So I guess I'll tell Gaston later, or he'll see this there in the broadcast. That I'm sorry for that, but he's probably just not happy in the moment.
We'll look back and see here just one last time. See, maybe it's hard to tell. It looks like just racing for position. You know, can't tell if Gaston maybe hits that line there, the dotted line there, that second lane or not. But he's going to end up having to start back out of the field. He wanted to save a set of tires. He's not going to get a chance to do that now. Going to have to take him, and he's going to have to take some damage repair along with it back on pit lane in the 72 to try to get some extra damage taken care of before this next restart. Philip Scott also went down pit lane that time. Jamar Dumas topped off on fuel in the 28 truck.
We can make it about 100 laps on fuel, just flat out green. So, you know, if we went green to the end here, we would have to all pit one more time, regardless.
So we're back side by side, ready to restart this race. Michael Kruger is your race leader. So who's outside? It is James Lorello, Chris Nino, and Bob Giaquinto in row number 2. Then it's Josh Copperdall sliding into the 5th spot to his outside lane. It's going to be, or actually it's Vinny Valvano inside, Josh Copperdall outside. Green flag back in the air, back racing at Kern County, and Lorello gets a good jump on Kruger. Go still side by side. Kruger back on the bottom inside of Lorello, but Lorello's going to lead at the line this time. Lorello not quite clear yet. Kruger still got the position, but now Lorello pulls down and takes over the race lead from Michael Kruger. Both these drivers in the top 2 wins of the season. Lorello, both of his wins coming at the Daytona International Speedway, winning in the doubleheader event. Meanwhile, right behind him, chasing him down now, is Michael Kruger. 2 wins thus far on this season for Mikey. Of course, we mentioned Texas 2 weeks ago, and then earlier in the season, race number 3 at Dover. Picked up his first career win in the Total Nonstop Racing League, looking to go for win number 3. The 2 of them are. Back behind them in 3rd place, Chris Nino has taken over the 3rd spot in this 29 truck. Another good run for him tonight. Bob Giaquinto right behind him, trying to get to the inside. You got Paul Bilson right behind them as well in 5th. These 3 drivers right here battling for a spot in the top 3. Vinny Valvano behind them, Jamar Dumas as well. Then Philip Scott back in 8th. Josh Copperdall slid back to 9th, and Jonathan Gaston rebounded.
Bob Giaquinto. Yep.
Bob Gia. As Josh said, Bob Giaquinto went for a spin there on the exit of turn 2. We'll take a quick look back at the replay. No caution came out for this one. Just inside of Chris Nino. Loses it on the bottom, trying to gather it up, and loses it again and spins it out. So he fades back into the 11th place position. Last truck on the lead lap. Philip Scott just went by Jamar Dumas. That is for 6th. Looking ahead now to Vinny Valvano, who is in 5th.
Oh, God.
Josh. Josh Copperdall brings out another caution here tonight as we've crossed over the quarter mark of this race. The JCTV replay will show you the JC of JCTV has gone for a spin.
Well, I'm not the only one that caused the yellow. In here.
I think you guys are just seeing things.
Oh my goodness. Josh went for a spin by himself. It's almost the same thing we saw Mike Tellier do earlier on, coming into the corner, just getting it a little too hot, and the rear end just steps out and around you go. Maybe Mike Tellier hit R2 and intimidated Josh Coppernell, made him spin it out. You see it right here. You hear it slide, and then around it goes. It just catches, and around it goes. So, but no damage to the 42, besides maybe a bruised ego.
You know, I am going to use the excuse that, yes, he did hit the intimidate button. He's 7 laps down. Well, he was. He's now the lucky dog, so it was his way of getting a free pass. Now, so yes, he did hit the intimidate button. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
I am just saying right now, Josh, 6 laps down is nothing. You should know. You have come back from 8 laps down in one race to come back and be back on the lead lap. Mike Tellier just needs 6 more yellow flags to fly in the span of about 50, lap 57, so about 142 laps maybe, 144 laps I should say. He's got that many laps to get 6 cautions and no other lucky dogs to get him back on the lead lap. I think it's doable. Small field right now, still 12 trucks running, 11 on the lead lap, but hey, he's got a chance.
I've done it twice. IRP and I believe Martinsville. No, Bristol. It was Bristol last season in the BSR AmsOil Truck Series. Bristol and IRP, as I mentioned. One thing that I'm a little concerned about is well, nothing right now.
You're concerned about not spinning it out again?
That too, yes. You know, I did not see the lighting on this track is in weird places. There's like one light pole on the backstretch, and I'm like concerned that we were gonna go into the dark here, but no, this track has lights, Bob. So just not that many light poles that I'm used to seeing. They're on. Lights are on.
I'm sleepy.
That's not a good thing you announce. Well, as the field makes their way down the back straightaway side by side, ready to go back racing, Lorello leads Kruger, Nenau, Bilson, and Valvano. As your top 5 pace truck is off, Lorello going to take his shot, leading this field to the green flag with Kruger on his outside. As they head towards the restart zone, green flag flies back underway here at Kern County. We're going back to that bottom lane, back to the inside of Lorello, trying to make the run work. Can't quite do it. Lorello maintains the race lead. How about Paul Bilson now, sliding his way into 3rd? Copperell battling with Jonathan Gaston, who's now got Mike Tellier to his inside. 6 laps down in the 97 is Mike Tellier, trying to see if he can make this race come back a reality. Just needs some more cautions with him not being involved, and he'll have a chance to get back into this race for the win.
Side by side, Valvano and Dumas. Gia is looking to get in that battle as well. This is a new nickname.
Jamar Dumas looking to get back to the front after that incident on lap 1 with Mike Tellier that put him back out in the back. Qualified on the pole here for tonight's race. Up to 6th right now. And these restarts have definitely helped him at least get back into it. You know, some of those runs he had gotten back up a couple spots, but he was about a second back by the time he got up to those opening positions. You know, he got to 7th and he was about a second and a half back of 6th place, and he had to run him down. So these cautions coming out, stacking the field back up, are going to give him a good chance to keep moving through the field. But right up ahead of him, 5th place right now, Philip Scott.
Dotson, I'm not sure what just happened to Mike Tellier other than he just disconnected from the session. I see there's battle up front, though, so I'd... Well,
yeah, I just saw Mike Tellier disappeared. Oh! Contact with Ninow and Bilson. And here comes Philip Scott to the inside. He'll take 4th from Ninow, trying to get 3rd from Bilson. But, yeah, Tellier disconnected. The comeback is not going to happen tonight. Bilson in the wall in the outside lane. Scott still side by side heading to 3. Scott rolling that bottom. Bilson trying to make the high lane work this time. It looks like the bottom with Philip Scott taking the advantage. He's edging out in front of the 51 truck, trying to stay ahead. He will clear. That's also opened the door for Jamar Dumas to get to the inside of Chris Ninow in a battle for 5th.
Got a battle for 7th as well. Valvano and Giaquinto.
And they settle down quickly. Valvano takes back the 7th spot over Giaquinto. But through all that, Philip Scott moving on up. He's into 3rd position now as he tries to make his charge back to the front of the field. He was 2nd on that earlier restart. The 3rd restart when the rest of the field came in for tires. He elected to stay out an extra time, save a set of tires. Right now, he sits in the 3rd spot, making his way back to the field, trying to see if he can get up there and actually contend for one of these top spots. I noticed Josh is about almost 2 seconds back of 8th place Bob Giaquinto. Josh, if you want to be a commentator as part of this, you're going to have to at least be closer to the action than about 2 seconds away from it.
Well, I'm still on the tires I spun on, and and I'm just naturally slow. So, yeah, I mean, I got that going for me, but no, I'm struggling right now. It's still just so tough. These conditions are not getting any better for us. Not getting any worse either, but...
What's the race update from the 41 truck, Mikey?
Run out of talent.
That sounds about right.
Trying to put pressure on the road, but keep completely run out of talent instead, because that's what I do best half the time.
Still maintaining, though, with this 13, not really letting him get out of your sights, and you still have about a 1.5 second gap over Philip Scott, so still in a good position. But something else I'm noticing, it looks like Josh is having a slower lap time. Something tells me that Josh might have just had an issue of some kind. So he just got passed by, he's getting passed by Jonathan Gaston for the 9th spot.
I just got into the corner too wrong and screwed up my lap. And Gaston capitalized on it, doing a great job, waiting for a mistake. And
oh, Jamar Dumas got side by side, almost door Paul Bilson on the exit of 2. They gather it back up, and we have a line of trucks from 4th back to about maybe 8th. That is Bilson, Dumas, Ninow, Valvano, and Giaquinto all lined up together. Side by side now goes Valvano and Ninow as they battle for 6th. Valvano trying to make the run work on the inside of the 29 truck. Couldn't get him that time. We'll see if he can get him here through 1 and 2, but the caution is out. Michael Kruger has spun on the backstretch.
I told you earlier, Dawson, running out of talent is half of what I do.
You're
I hate myself.
You're just getting a little too much into your heads, all it is, Mikey. You got to work on getting out of your head. Take a look at JCTV replay, show you what happened to the 41 truck. Just a slide out of turn 2. Didn't hit the wall or anything, but so different decisions. Vinny Valvano had stayed out. Looks like he's pitting this time. Bob Giaquinto as well, electing not to pit. See Mikey back there staying out. Jonathan Gaston stayed out as well. And Bosch Boppernell, Garrett Gleason both electing to pit there. So Giaquinto, Kruger, Gaston are the 3 that stay out under this caution. See James Lorello going to line up right there in this 4th spot, first off pit lane. Looks like it might have been Philip Scott who got off 2nd, then Paul Bilson off 3rd. Jamar Dumas was off 4th, and Chris Nenow was off in 5th. 84 laps in, and Mike Tellier is probably upset because that was another caution he was needing to be able to get another lucky dog, but not going to get it here tonight.
Yeah, you know, I don't know exactly what happened to Tellier. I don't know if he just started to lose it and alt F4'd real quick. It did say he manually disconnected and then he reconnected. Of course, he is an admin of the session, so seeing him reconnect didn't surprise me to at least admin the session, but still not sure what happened to him ultimately.
He may have accidentally hit the boost button known as Alt F4 and got out of the truck quickly. That was the ejector seat hit for the 97 to Mike Tellier.
I hope I don't die.
Well, let's see what happens. Giaquinto, Kruger, and Gaston staying out there. 1, 2, 3. Lorello and Scott, 4th and 5th. They pit that time, as did Paul Bilson. Jamar Dumas, Chris Nenow, Vinny Valvano, Josh Copernell, and Garrett Gleason behind all them. We've got 11 trucks on the racetrack. That's all 11. They're all in the lead lap, and they're all still in the hunt for this win. If you're on the racetrack, you've got a fighting chance at this one. Pace truck is off. Giaquinto is going to lead the field to green as we're racing once more in the Forever 200. Gaston did not get a good restart. Kruger trying to make the outside lane work. Lorello's going to try to make it 3 wide. 3 wide through the middle goes Lorello, and he's going to take back the top spot. Bilson going to follow behind him. Bilson will send it to the inside of Giaquinto, makes contact with the 23. Side by side they go. Now Bilson clears for 2nd, slides on the exit at 2. Spinning in the back is Garrett Gleason. Somehow no yellow. Gaston and Kruger both on older tires side by side. It is doing nothing but hurt the 99 of Philip Scott, who trying to get by the 2 of them to get back up in the fight for the lead with Bilson and Lorello, who currently lead the pack. Kruger has a moment there, gathered it back up. Scott trying to clear Gaston and Kruger and put them in his rearview mirror. It looks like he's going to do it this time. Jamar Dumas trying to follow suit in the 28. Well, Scott's got Bob Giaquinto right here up ahead of him in the battle for 3rd. Once he gets by him, he'll have about another 1.5 gap to what will be the second place position of Paul Bilson, right on his back bumper, and the caution came out, but because of the way the restart went, Philip Scott finds himself in the hole again. Go to the inside of Giaquinto, trying to make this inside lane work to get by the 23. He'll do so and move up into the 3rd spot. He's got Jamar Dumas following in tow. Paul Bilson had a moment on the exit of turn 2 that sends him down towards the inside wall, costing him a ton of time on this lap. Behind him, Scott and Dumas both are clear. Giaquinto and now settle into 3rd and 4th and look to march their way forward.
Oh, goodness. Valvano loose. He was on the apron. That was an amazing save.
Thought that was a yellow there for a moment.
The yellow you probably need and I don't want.
Man, how did he keep that truck from going around or hitting the wall in that 64 truck? Valvano trying to make the move on Bob Giaquinto, who stayed out that last caution. He'll do so that'll move those that stayed out to 7th, 8th, and 9th. Giaquinto, Gaston, and Kruger, those drivers did not pit under the last caution. James Lorello did, and he's out to a 1.4 second lead over Paul Bilson. He's got another second back to Philip Scott in 3rd. Jamar Dumas riding in 4th. And running at your top 5, Chris Nenau. Don't have a lot of drivers here, 11 drivers out on the racetrack right now, but we mentioned James Lorello, your race leader. We're going to take you on a JCTV side-by-side break, but don't go anywhere, so you're not going to miss any of the action.
Hey man, you cut me off back there. What you gonna do about it? Oh man. Can you feel it? The taste of Coca-Cola. When the race fine, fine. Are we good? We're good.
As a Grand Prix world champion in triathletes, I know how important it is to stretch before any competition.
I also know it's important to stretch. Mobil 1's advanced technology lubricates our engines.
Yes, that is true.
And my joints.
Oh my word.
Soda cookies. You want one, Jensen?
As a fan of the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, I want to get as close to the action as I can get. One way to do that is to use the NASCAR Sprint Cup mobile app for my HTC Evo 4G. Another way is to hide in the back of Carl Edwards' car. Yeah, Carl! Whoa, we're getting ramped!
Fuel your fan with NASCAR Sprint Cup Mobile on the HTC Evo 4G. Only from Sprint, the Now Network.
This is not as safe as I initially...
So, Ginny, what makes you an awesome different driver?
Well, there's a lot to it. Man, it's a rush. So what makes home selling with OfferPad awesome different?
Oh, so much. But with OfferPad, it's a lot more home selling stuff and a lot less bumping into people.
Well, I don't bump into anyone.
Home selling with OfferPad is awesome different. Request your free cash offer today at OfferPad. So what do you got in that loader, Tony?
Just did my mail run, Chase. 3,100 pounds of letters from the best fans on Earth.
You have this many fans?
Yes.
You sure some of this isn't hate mail?
Nope. All fan mail.
This one's about weight loss.
That's not mine.
It has your name on it.
I'm a popular guy.
It says VIP membership renewal.
Not cool to read other people's mail, kid.
This isn't fan mail.
Mahindra, the official tractor of Tough and Stewart Hawk.
Kyle Busch, welcome to Menards. What can I help you with today?
Well, I've got my shopping list right here. I need some green treated lumber. I need a brown Mastercraft door. I need red Clearview cabinets and some blue Dutch Boy paint.
Those are M&Ms.
And?
At Menards, we carry the world's best selection of home improvement products to help you complete your next project.
You've got more of these, right?
It's all gonna fit in your car?
I got a trunk.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey kid, this car's sick. Get in.
This has gotta win.
What would you do with your favorite driver? Enter your design at toyotaracing.com.
Whoa! Dad, where'd you get that?
Oh, you won't believe what just happened.
Don't tell me you got the last Diet Dew.
Yeah.
I love the taste of Diet Dew. What do you want for it? Deal.
Diet Mountain Dew. Yeah, it tastes that good.
Hey, hotshot. Meter's running.
You probably know me from going fast, but when I want to go even faster, I reach for Carvana. With their soonest next day delivery, they get me moving fast, so I can stay on schedule. Oh, my drop-off.
Fly the blimp, too much hot air. Race announcer, same thing there. Wouldn't get a word in with you know who. Just get down on the track and do what you do. Slide down in my seat, pull the belts tight. Get up on the wheel and let the dust fly. Napa know how. Napa know
Joey, I don't know how you pulled that off, man. What's next?
Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Oh, come. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Oh, Coca-Cola. Oh, Coca-Cola.
We're well over the halfway mark at lap 120 this time by. James Lorello continuing to lead by 1.5 seconds over second place Philip Scott, who's trying to chase him down and go for win number 3 on the season. We got a car around. Caution is out. Vinny Valvano has spun. We have a caution, and that, you all couldn't hear it, but Josh Copperdoll and Michael Kruger rejoiced when that happened, because that is going to give Michael Kruger the caution he needed to get the strategy of taking a set of tires here. Taking a look at your JCTV replay.
I might be nullified because, yeah, everyone's pitting. Well, there goes the strategy for that. At least it saved us that, but dang, didn't pay off really too
So
well.
right there, just sliding on the front straightaway. That slide, he was stopped long enough to bring out the yellow flag. We saw some drivers have those kind of spins where they spin and, you know, they sit on the track, but it doesn't bring out the yellow. But we saw that with Garrett Gleason. Somehow didn't bring out a yellow, but that time Vinny Valvano does. He stayed at that time. He's going to pit on an empty pit lane. Josh Copperdoll won the race off pit road. I don't think he meant to win the race off pit road, but he did. Josh Coppernoll going to lead a lap here. Philip Scott won the race off for those who took tires. But it looks like Scott may have done something different. A 13.6 second stop in his stall. I'm thinking that number 99 went with right sides only.
Well, looking at my left side, Dawson, and yeah, albeit it's a 40 lap difference from Phillips, but I had 93.90, so it's not wearing as much the right front, but curious.
He took 4 tires. The fact that he had a 13.6 second stop, he may not have needed as much fuel as what it was. And that's how he won the race off pit road. At least for second, it looks like Josh staying out. That was a strategy call. Josh, take fuel only?
Yes, Josh did.
Josh didn't leave his tires unchecked on accident and decided to commit to this, did he?
No. I unchecked my tires. Actually, I thought I was about to miss my pit stall trying to get my tires unchecked.
Okay.
I didn't even put my truck in reverse and was hitting the gas, and I'm like, why isn't it moving? It's because they were serving my car or truck.
Well, here's how the field will stack up. Go ahead, Josh. Say what you were thinking.
I was just going to say, we're going to die here as far as on speed. But, you know, YOLO.
All I have to say, Josh, is just be careful entering turn 1 because I made the mistake earlier, and it's so easy to overdrive it on the restarts because of how low you are.
Well, 10 trucks are on the lead lap. Well, let's say, sorry, cut you guys off. 10 trucks on the lead lap, only 10 trucks on track. It is Coppernoll leading Philip Scott, James Lorello, Jamar Dumas, Christine, Bob Giacquino, Jonathan Gaston, Vinny Valvano, Paul Bilson, and Michael Kruger. Pace truck dives off. We're going to see Josh Coppernoll lead the field to green for the first time ever. The green flag flies and the 42 launches. Oh, how slow he goes into the corner. Lorello goes to the outside and quickly takes the race lead away. Josh, you could have held it for a little bit longer.
I tried.
Ninow trying to make this outside lane work as well to go by Coppernoll for 4th. But Lorello clear out front. He's got a big gap now, about a half a second gap over second place Philip Scott.
Yeah, this was a bad idea.
You get a caution like 5 or 10 laps, you got the advantage.
Yeah, as long as he's not the caution, that's the big thing. But Lorello out front, Philip Scott second, Jamar Dumas bringing it back to 3rd, a rebound day for the 28 after the spin on lap 1.
Oh, great save, Mikey.
Somehow I had talent, even in my talentless moment there, which, well, sucks, but because I lost time, but at least I didn't die.
Ooh, almost stripped it up into Paul Bilson, kept it off him, and kept that truck off the wall. Able to save it. Good save, Mikey, as we still watch up front. Battle brewing for the 6th spot between Jonathan Gaston and Paul Bilson. Gaston trying to record his first top 5 of the season. He's got Bob Giacquino up ahead of him. He's going to get by to do so. And he's got Paul Bilson on his back bumper, lighting him up, letting him know that he wants to go. Bilson will go to the inside, trying to take away the spot. Still to the inside, but he's got the nose up ahead. Paul Bilson is going to take over P6. His best finish so far this season is a 6th place run at Daytona 2 in this 51 truck. See Kruger making the move on Gaston for 7th as well. Paul Bilson has made 20 overall starts in the Total Nonstop Racing League action. Best finish of 6th place is a career high at Kansas back last season, as well as Daytona this season. Looking to see if he can bump that up and score his first career top 5 here tonight.
Oh, Bilson made a heck of a save in front of me. He's in the fence.
Oh, close driving there between Kruger and Bilson. We got right up to his door. But Bilson fades back to 7th now as Kruger jumps up into the 6th spot. That's the announcer's jinx there, I think is what that was.
He was wicked loose off of 4 and made a heck of a save. He hit the wall trying to correct it.
Announcer's jinx, you say? We're going to stay green to the end.
Please. Is it bad for me to say or no?
I don't want that Joshua Copperdoll guy to have success here. We're going to stay green to the end.
Bilson's fighting like crazy to hang on to that truck. Ahead of Jonathan Gaston, though, so he's going to make it at least interesting if it stays green to the end.
Oh, someone got loose ahead. Oh, it's Jamar. Jamar's around.
Oh, he's not around. He's going to save it. Jamar Dumas fought back to 3rd, sliding in the corner. Oh, contact with Paul Bilson. Sliding further and further back to 9th now for the 28 truck. Loose in 1 and 2, then contact with Bilson on the backstretch sends him shuffling back to 9th. Just like that, Michael Kruger back in the top 5 and hunting down Bob Giaquinto.
Just patience. Just trying to do what I learned earlier in the race and the stupid mistakes that led me back here in the first place.
Watching with Michael Kruger on board. Philip Scott, we talked about him earlier. He started this race in 10th. It was a slow crawl. He stayed out on strategy to finish in the seconds, to end up 2nd at one point earlier in this race, but now 5 seconds. We got a slow truck on track. Wrecked is Jamar Dumas. He was nose to the inside wall. Still no caution.
Track's clear from the tower.
He was sideways on the apron right there on the back straightaway.
It's because no other trucks were around. And I believe that's why a caution was not going to come out.
I think it's just because they don't want you to get a caution, Josh. The game is conspiring against you right now at this very moment.
Well, this is a sim, and I told you we're going to stay green to the end. Sad thing is, Dumas still with the fresher tires is rolling up to my back bumper and going to pass me here.
I'll go to the inside of Coppernoll for 9th place. Good job, Josh. Good job. You did a great job. 10th place run, top 10 run for Josh Coppernoll.
I told him to go ahead and take it low. There was no point battling. We still got a long way to go.
We're trying to chase down Giaquinto for 4th. Gaston closing in on Vinny Valvano. That is for the 7th spot. Those are your battles to watch right now. Philip Scott currently 6/10 of a second back over race leader James Lorello coming up on the 51 lap to go mark.
So hard to catch people when they're running almost identical laps to you.
See Lorella closing in on lap traffic here. That's going to slow him up a little bit. It's allowing Philip Scott to pull in closer. Cockrell going to get out of the way for Lorello. And Scott going to get that same favor as Josh Cockrell becomes the only truck 1 lap down right now on the racetrack, back in 10th.
You know what's going to happen is Lorello is going to lap Jamar, and then the caution is going to come out, and I'm not going to get the lucky dog.
Got a battle for 7th happening. Gaston got to the back bumper. Vinny Valvano lost track of him. Michael Kruger still chasing down Bob Giaquinto, but the gap for the lead is starting to change. Philip Scott was faster that last time by.
Well, if you were to ask my prediction, Dawson, on the lead, if Philip Scott's a little bit quicker and he can run down Lorello, it's going to be a kidney stone for him to get around Lorello, in my opinion, because from experience on driving around here, it's hard to pass long run here, man. It's hard to pass. So Philip's going to have to work his magic getting around Lorello, in my opinion, if this goes green all the way. Oh, Bob slid up. Still got a good gap on me, though.
The gap for the lead closing in still.
Oh, Bob got loose. Saved it, though.
See Kruger closing in. Mikey's trying to make this move for 4th.
It'll be hard to pass him, I'll tell you that.
Like a kidney stone, hard to pass. Our co-commentator on JCTV, Ben Smith, knows a thing or two about those. As they make their way, it'll be 40 laps to go this next time by. And Philip Scott has closed the gap big time.
Gonna be a kidney stone, though, in my opinion. I'll say it again.
It's within just about 0.2 of a second. Philip Scott much faster now than the 13. Lorello is on the defensive mode now as they make their way to the stripe. 39 laps left here at Kern County in the Forever 200.
Is that debris I'm seeing on the backstretch? Nope.
I was going to say, I think we've got that Richmond Raceway fan on the fence.
I don't know, Josh. This fence is like awfully steep for a fan to climb, in my opinion.
There's your POV of the Richmond fan here in 3 and 4 as the field makes their way around. Josh mentioned that we have the camera angle of the Richmond fan. But no. No fan on the catch fence, no debris on the track. We stay green, and Lorello is starting to pull back away. Oh, he had trouble! Bobbles there on the exit of turn 4. Scott's going to have a run on him now. Here comes Philip Scott trying to peek the nose inside of Lorello. Couldn't quite do it.
I still think that Silent Syndicate racing machine is not going to be silent. You know, he's going to make it so tough for Scott to pass.
You know what Lil Wayne said? Real G's moving silence like lasagna. I think Philip Scott is moving silence like lasagna right now.
I'm sorry, what?
You gotta be kidding me. You never listen to that?
I'm an 80s rock and roll guy.
Someone get Josh hooked with a little Wayne here.
Vinny
My
Vano,
goodness.
Paul Bilson battling as well back in the background. Talking about Young Money, Lil Weezy. Mikey knows the references. Josh does not. We have a truck that is slow, spun around backwards. That's going to bring out a caution. Somehow, no. How is there no yellow? Jonathan Gaston was facing the wrong way on the racing surface. It doesn't bring out a yellow. Oh, my word.
My copper tone heart is broken right now.
Take a look back at what happened quickly. Show you what happened heading into turn 2. Gaston just lost it in turn 2, slid down to the apron. He wound up on the racing surface facing the wrong way, and no caution came out. It is a conspiracy against Josh Coppernol, and only against Josh Coppernol.
Bilson just got loose behind me. Oh, God! Somehow,
Josh Coppernol has just hit the inside wall. God bless America, indeed. Battle for the lead, still ongoing. Philip Scott finally getting the nose to the inside of Lorello. Can't make the move work. Lorello still hanging on to this race lead. Philip Scott is putting immense pressure on this 13 truck, not letting him get away. It's 25 laps to go at Kern County. This race is shaping up to be a chaotic ending here. It's a tight battle for the lead. We've had cars sliding, spinning, having issues. Lorello had an issue on the exit of 4 again. Scott got to get back to the inside. Oh, contact! Philip Scott's going to spin! And that'll bring out the caution!
Bum, bum, bum!
And Coppernol will not be the free pass. It'll be Gaston.
Jonathan Gaston is going to have the free pass. Josh Coppernol's heart has broken. Broken. Take a look at the replay.
Millions of pieces.
Battling for the race lead into the inside, doors him right there, and around goes the 99. But what shocks me the most is that this somehow brought out a yellow flag, but not Jonathan Gaston's spin. Gaston was facing the wrong way on the racing surface, and somehow that did not bring out a yellow flag. I just don't understand. So the field's going to pit. James Lorello is going to lead the field onto the pit lane. As we watch for them, everybody on pit lane that can go to pit lane this time by. Watching to see what anybody does. Will anybody go 2 tires? Will anybody go no tires even if they're crazy enough? James Lorello is going to win the race off pit road. Then it's going to be Philip Scott beating Chris Nenow.
This is everyone's last tires here, Dawson. Unless you stayed out like me, Gatson, and I'm sorry, I forgot whoever it was, but one more other person.
Lorello maintains the race lead off of pit lane. He has dominated this race tonight, looking for win number 3 of the season if he can get it here tonight.
I'm no expert, Dawson, but this is going to get very messy here on this restart. And I know, I guess from what I've heard from you mentioning it, Lorello and Scott are definitely going to race the absolute heck out of each other. And I think on this restart here, the guy that might be the benefiter here, if he gets a great jump, is going to be Philip Scott. If he can stay on the outside and do what James Lorello did to me earlier in the race when he got a great jump just like I did, and stay on my outside, or stay on Lorello's outside, he's going to have the advantage and be able to drive off the corner and pull away. I think Philip Scott here is going to be in a great spot here, be on the top if he can just time this restart and execute.
No driver's going to tell you their honest strategy except me right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an honest strategy of waiting a few laps until these guys' tires get real nice and hot. I'm going to use the intimidate button on somebody, make them wreck, avoid them so I get the lucky dog, and use my last set of tires.
Well, we'll see if you can do it, Josh. You got about maybe 28 laps to go this time. Lorello, Scott, Ninow, Kruger, Giaquinto, Valvano, Bilson, Dumas are your top 8. Gaston back there in 9th on the lead lap. Green flag is out. Lorello lead in the field. Scott dove right down to the inside lane. Ninow trying to hang on. They're going to wreck though in the back maybe. Oh, Dumas ran Valvano up the track. Somehow they kept it straight and off each other. But up front, it's going to be between Lorello and Scott. Kruger right there in 3rd as well.
I'm just waiting for something to happen between these two. Perhaps a bumper? Or a mistake? I don't know.
Well, Scott made a mistake. He tried to get to the inside, and he ran up. He doored the 13, spun it out from the 2nd spot to ring out this last caution. Will he make the mistake again, or will he fix it and make sure he can try to make this pass, and he can take advantage of that race lead?
Lorello just set the fastest lap right there.
Incredible. These guys are pushing it. Giving it everything they've got. There's a spin!
Dumas hard to the inside wall! Josh is not going to get the caution, though! It's our pole sitter, Jamar Dumas, with the incident.
Bonner the flagman, holding the yellow.
I have never seen the game conspire more against somebody than it has Josh Gopperdoll tonight. We are down to this 9 truck still in the lead lap. Dumas is trying to make it work. Somebody has just appeared on the scoreboard on my end. Jason Schue is on pit lane. He's finally here, finally showed up with 13, now 12 laps to go. Jason Schue is on pit lane. Scott trying to make this move happen, trying to run down Lorello. It's 11 laps to go. He's running out of time here at the short track. 5 miles of racing left when they hit the stripe. 10 laps to go at Kern County in the Forever 200. Once Lorello got the race lead, he pretty much has not looked back since. Philip Scott has been chasing this lead all race long, has yet to get to the front tonight. If he can do so now to be with under 10 laps to go, trying to get win number 3 of the season to the 99.
He just knocked the wall down lap ago.
And yet he still gained time on the 13 truck. All of the top 3 have made a trip to victory lane twice this season. Lorello swept the races at Daytona. We mentioned Philip Scott at Milwaukee and at Mosport. And then 3rd place, Michael Kruger at Dover in Texas. But here comes Philip Scott trying to get back to the inside on the back bumper of the 13.
Scott looked low there. No dice. I'm telling you, we might have to do the bumper here. He might not have a choice.
Michael Kruger in the catbird seat right now, watching this all go down. He's got the best view in the house.
How hard is to pass? I'm just Not trying to be a guy wishing for it, but I mean, Scott, I think he might just have to pull the bumper to him. I don't know if he's got another choice unless he just dies.
He's got to move to the inside. Here comes Scott again. Couldn't quite make it stick on the bottom. Lorello maintains the race lead. Five laps to go, this time by. Scott is doing everything he can to try and get to this win. Lorello hanging tough in this first spot, but here comes Scott to the inside again. This time he's going to have a shot. Lorello clears him.
Come on, get to your outside.
3 laps to go.
Yeah.
Philip Scott running out of time. Oh, Lorello had a bobble there on the exit at turn 4. 2 laps left here at Bakersfield. Scott with a better run on the corner. Handing it to 3 and 4. No caution's going to come out to bail out Josh Coppernoll. The white flag is going to fly. One final lap here in the 4x 200. Both these drivers giving everything they've got, coming down to it on the back straightaway. Through 3 and 4, Scott's going to send it in. It's not going to be enough. Out of turn 4, James Lorello picks up the victory at Kern County.
Really thought there the only way that Scott was gonna take that win there was pull the bumper, but Scott picked it clean, which is probably a good move there on his part.
Well, for some reason, it's not showing that James Lorello is our winner. James Lorello burning it down in victory lane tonight. Number 13 truck. Take a look at your race results. Only 14 drivers going to be scored in this race. Lorello winning over Philip Scott. Michael Kruger, our in-race reporter here in the booth, finishing 3rd. Christine out 4th. Bob Giaquino, your top 5 there. As Giaquino takes home a 5th place spot. Paul Bilson going to match his career best finish with 6th. Jonathan Gaston taking it home in 7th. Vinny Valvano in 8th. Jamar Dumas 9th. And Josh Coppernoll didn't get the caution he needed, finishing in 10th. And it was Garrett Gleason, Mike Tellier, Johnny Williams, and Jason Schue. That was your top 14 drivers. All 14 that made the trip here to Kern County to start this race. Well, we've got our 3rd place finisher in the booth. So let's see if we can get a hold of our 3rd place finisher here, Michael Kruger.
I was going to say, we should have Mikey interview Mikey.
That's a good call. We should have Michael Kruger interview Michael Kruger. Give me a second. I gotta get something fixed really quickly. ATVO for the first time ever on me has fully crashed. So I do apologize when the post-race highlights will not play. Because we will not have any access to any of them because it decided to just completely crash. So we'll get loaded into this. Mikey, interview yourself, talk to yourself, ask yourself how your race went and everything.
I'm down here on pit lane with our third place finisher, Michael Kruger. Hey, Michael, how was your race here this evening here at Kern County? Yeah, well, really kind of shot myself in the foot several times. Made a lot of dumb mistakes. Was up front and then wasn't because I ran out of talent. Self-spun. Tried a tire strategy that kind of didn't pan out and never got to use that extra set of tires. But kind of really tried to learn Kern County, my first ever race at Kern County. So it was interesting learning how to get around here, for sure. Of just kind of having to try to manage your stuff here and just really just kind of run the pace you're supposed to here. I mean, really there at the end, I got a little fortunate making some passes there, and I was just kind of just sitting there behind Scott and Lorello there at the end there, really. So walk us through those last 20 laps again about how you were trying to go from 5th to 3rd there, and we're just kind of lurking behind those two. Yeah, I mean, we were kind of running a little even lap times there a little bit. Clearly, Lorello and Scott were a bit faster than me. I mean, I was kind of close on lap times, but they were just slightly a little bit better than me. I was just like sitting there last few laps, just trying to stay as close as I could to see if something would happen between both Lorello and Scott, but never really happened. I mean, Scott tried a last ditch effort in 3 and 4 and no avail. So really, after a bit of an up and down night and a lot of bad mistakes and really just kind of climbing back through the field, P3 is not terrible results. I mean, better than whatever most sport was last week after I basically ran out of talent there. So we'll take a third and just walk away and go elsewhere wherever we are next week. Well, Michael, a third place finish at Kern County. You got any sponsors, shout outs, teammates, anything you want to say tonight? I just really gotta thank everyone at Radius Racing for giving me a fast truck. Gotta thank my teammates, Josh Coppernoll, Cameron Caldwell, Alonso Chicono, Adam Kuhn, Justin Duran, David Duran, Dakota Knoll, and I really hope I'm not forgetting because there's so many guys. Gotta thank all those guys really for being my teammate at Radius Racing. Oh, I forgot Tristan Maher. Gotta thank him. And gotta thank C2 Graphics for being on board for tonight. And that's really all I got. No, it's not. I got one guy, Josh Coppernoll. Otherwise, yeah, that's all I got. Think that's your third place finisher for tonight, Michael Kruger.
Yeah, Michael Kruger, guys, a pretty good interviewer. I think we need to maybe consider hiring him on as we get ready for the season to kick into high gear. Josh, I believe you have caught up with our second place finisher here, Philip Scott.
Indeed, I have, Philip. Great run tonight. I know it's not what you wanted as far as the win, but of course, I didn't get to see the action up front. But from the sounds of it, it was pretty intense. Of course, you went on to try to make a move there on Lorello, but just walk us through what it was like there for you.
Dude, that was such a blast. This is my first time racing at this track, and man, this was so fun. And man, hats off to Lorello. He put his cars in the right spot. He's so good at defending, and yeah, it was just a blast racing with him that whole last run. Yeah, I just try different things. I was just like trying to save my tires up until I caught up to him, and then after that, I was just trying to like try different things. I noticed this. I was trying this kind of weird diamond line that was actually really working. Something I noticed in practice was what has a lot of grip. It might have to do with dynamic track or something because it's not quite the right racing line, but I noticed that on the exits of 2 and 4, you could really just stick to the track and just get a straight line. And so I was really trying to rotate like that. And yeah, I was trying everything to get by him. And I am so happy that I'm pretty sure that they made some net code updates like in the past couple seasons, because we were there were multiple 0x's there. It was just so tight. But James is really fair. He races really hard, but that's how I like to race too. So it was really awesome.
Another impressive run for you tonight at Kern County. Sponsor shout outs. Who gets it done behind that number 99 of yours?
Yep, of course. Go check out World Ninja League, the largest Ninja Warrior league on the planet. Just like the stuff that you see, the crazy stuff on TV. Yeah, we do that year round, ages 6 and up. So come check us out.
All right. Congrats on the runner-up finish, and we'll see you next time.
Yep, thanks, man.
That was Philip Scott, tonight's runner-up here at Kern County Raceway. We head down to Dawson Allen, Victory Lane, who has our race winner, James Lorello. Maybe.
Yeah, making my way down here. We are now in Victory Lane with tonight's race winner, the first driver to pick up 3 wins in season 2024, James Lorello. First off, James, congrats on the win.
Yeah, thanks, guys. That was a blast.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun watching it from the booth here, but, it was a tough battle still. It seemed like, you got out to that advantage when you took the lead, but as the race got later on, you had a lot of pressure from Philip Scott there. What was that like here, those 2 split segments between having that dominant run to having to fend off one of the faster drivers we've had this season?
Yeah, it was really fun racing against Philip. He was much better getting off the corner there, especially in that segment where we had the long run. I didn't know if I could really hold him off till the end of the race, and then we got fresh tires, and then it was just kind of running as fast as you could there at the end. And he was doing a great job of getting good runs off of the corners to try and beat me into the corner. But thankfully, I was able to hang on.
Yeah, able to hang on and able to take the race win. You pick up your first win since the Daytona double headers. Tonight, how does that feel knowing that you've got the 3rd win here and momentum building on your side?
Yeah, it feels great, especially to not be at a super speedway track and to be back at a regular short track, something that was really fun. I'd never raced here before, so a lot of confidence, momentum going into the next few races.
Heading up on the halfway point of the season next week at Kansas, or I believe actually that is the following week at Kansas. How is it looking, feeling like that with this close points battle now? You're reeling in that race lead, that points lead here with this win tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I know I'm going to miss a couple races coming up here, but just got to do my best. Kansas will be a good one, and let's see what the rest of the season holds.
Well, alrighty, 3rd win on the season for this 13 truck teammate sponsor. Shoutouts. What got you to Victory Lane tonight?
Yeah, my buddy Bill Edwards wasn't here, but Tellier and folks were helping me out. Spotting me there at the end of the race. So thanks to them, and thanks to the whole team and Garrett and everybody. Great run. I know it was a smaller field tonight than we wanted, but this was a fun track, and I'm glad we came here.
Well, alrighty, that was your race winner here tonight, James Lorello, his 3rd win in 2024. Congrats again, James. Well, alrighty, we got to hear from our 3rd place finisher and, JCTV colleague and interviewer about how that race was. But Josh, what about you? How was that race for you in the 42?
I mentioned earlier it was a tough one. It stayed tough all race long. I'm worn out, but I had a lot of fun. I will say I'm normally not this calm when I'm racing. I tend to get a little bit heated, but it's just fun out there. I try not to get heated. I like having fun, and so despite finishing 10th, not having luck on my side, it was a whole lot of fun. I had a blast out there, and I really hope that the viewers can tell by my voice. Just I always thought it was weird when people say they could hear your smile when I was younger, but I understand it now as I'm older. So I really hope you can hear my smile because that was a blast out there. Congrats to James and Philip too. I mean, he did such a great job to battle with James Lorello out there. So it was a lot of fun, Dawson, and I just want to thank you again because this is an idea I approached with you about like 20 minutes before we went live of me racing and broadcasting as well because I saw the car count tonight and I was like, I want to help them out. Let's give them an extra truck.
It's always a lot of fun to do these as well because it's the difference you can notice as well in these kind of broadcasts is the ability to have actual at the moment driver reactions and emotions and things happening like we had with Michael Kruger saying he ran out of talent when he spun. Josh screaming and squealing about himself saving his own truck. Things like that. It's a lot of fun to have, but that's not all we have racing on JCTV this week. Coming up tomorrow night, Tuesday night, the Slide Job Racing League Tuesday night racing. It's the most fun you can have in the NASCAR Xfinity Series cars on the iRacing simulation. Next race they've got is the All-Star Race coming up tomorrow night at Charlotte. Don't miss that one. That is at 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time. This Wednesday we are off for the XASCAR Cessna Cup Series. Not the Cessna Coast to Coast Cup Series. That is a completely different series. But coming up on this Thursday night, it's the Coast to Coast Cup Series. As they go racing, they head to Kansas. That should be a fun race. Tune in for that one at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. The North American Online Racing League, they go racing this Friday night. They head to Bristol Dirt. That should be a fun one. Don't miss that one. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then, of course, this Saturday night, the AmsOil Truck Series head to Atlanta for the All-Star Race. Everybody going to be racing for that cash prize and bragging rights and seeing what they can do in this first ever All-Star Race for the AmsOil Truck Series. Tune in to that one this Saturday at 7:45 p.m. Eastern, only on JCTV. I want to thank you, Josh and Michael Kruger, for joining me in the booth for tonight's race. I would show you a big highlight session. The issue is there are no highlights to show because all we have saved are the final few laps. So we'll let those play as Nikki D and Wiperblade play us out. For Michael Kruger and Josh Coppernoll, this is Dawson Allen signing off saying so long and have a great rest of your night.